Alright guys, so in this video I just want to kind of sum up everything, just as quickly as I can, but it's not going to be that quick. Now, let me just get into technology nowadays. Now, trafficking in a first world country is a lot different than trafficking in a third world country, and I'll tell you what. Third world countries are they are more outwardly lawless, so you are more likely to be trafficked in a third world country physically. I'm talking about physically, and your traffickers will likely not even, as I say, it's just very lawless in these countries. South America, India, kind of is what it is. But in a first world country, trafficking is going to be done behind closed doors. Now, a lot of targeted people or targeted individuals, they'll tell you that, organized harassment is like hire yourself and, it's this and that. And I'm not even calling these people out. I have no problem with, this is a free world, so you are allowed to put out whatever kind of content that you want to. I mean, it's all of, it's your choice, really. So I'm not calling anybody out. I don't do that. I'm a grown ass man. I'm not competing with anybody. I don't even compete with myself. I don't care. It's not my thing. But in a first world country, it will be pretty easy for someone to traffic you, and this form of trafficking could be deemed a possible mental illness. Now, if you are being trafficked physically, like you have this pedophile and he's, an online, I don't even want to get into it. This is wild, bro. Like, it's just kind of sick to me, but you got this pedophile and he's physically abusing people so he can produce his content, or she's physically abusing other people to produce content, then yeah, that would be a form of physical. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again. Physical. I gotta say. I want to say physical. I can't say it right, but physical. Physical human trafficking in a first world country. But in a first world country, there are plenty of people, vulnerable people, being physically trafficked. But all in all, if you get caught trafficking somebody physically in a first world country, you may end up, how people say for Thanksgiving you eat turkey. Well, if you get caught physically trafficking somebody in a first world country and you get caught, then you may be eating another form of meat, for Thanksgiving in the prison cell. But anyway, I'm just saying that all in all, first world countries do have laws and regulations, but this is still a lawless country. But lawlessness in a first world country is a lot different than lawlessness in a third world country. In a first world country, you are likely to be trafficked with the use of psychology and technology. And I'm going to say psychology and technology. So you'll have a lot of people telling you that, organized harassment is just hire yourself, don't pay attention to them, it's not really happening. Because I'm just saying, like, if you tell somebody that it's just hire yourself, then you are just telling these people or these groups of people that what's happening to them is not really a thing. No one's no one's orchestrating anything. No one's trying to ruin your life. There's no campaign out against you. It's just that you are at a high frequency, and people around you just want to lower your vibration. But I would have to disagree with this. Attack a person because in the first world country, okay, we are talking trafficking. For a lot of times, it is done to technology is also used. As I said, even other forms of trafficking in first world countries, even physical forms of trafficking. Typically, they'll go after your mental sanity first. Then, after they have you mentally unstable, committed, then they can do more with you. But trafficking in a first world country is a lot different than trafficking in a quote unquote third world country. So in the first world country, you're going to have a lot of people like the UK, Britain, country, whatever, United States, Australia. You're going to have a lot of people complaining of organized harassment. Okay? You're going to have a lot of people complaining about this phenomenon, and then they're going to wonder why. Hey, well, why haven't these people ever tried to lay a hand on me? Why haven't they done this? Why haven't they done that? Well, that's basically because the U.S. and many of these other first world countries, they do have justice systems, but that is really no way you can get help if what they are doing to you is all mental. Okay? Because we already have a zombified mental health system put in place. So even if you tell people, I'm telling you, man, it's wild. Even if you tell people about MK Ultra, COINTELPRO, and all of the others, and all these other things that took place in the past, they are just still gonna write you off as crazy. Why would somebody follow you around? Why would they do this? Why would they do that? They don't understand that these people are trafficking you, and they are trying to get you to a point where you are so mentally unstable that you are able to, you are just able to either completely lose it or you are unable to, it's wild, man. You are you are unable to take care of yourself, your kids, and then if you are a targeted person and you have children, for example, if your children end up in a foster care system, then we all know what could possibly happen. Because there are a lot of criminals out and about, and you would never guess who these people are or were. You cannot judge law enforcement because there are various individuals working in law enforcement. You cannot judge EMS because there are various individuals working in EMS. You cannot judge teachers because there are various individuals working as teachers. These are not jobs that require a security clearance. So any everyday Joe with the training and a little bit of college can easily obtain these jobs. And given the fact that crime these days is mostly committed online, there's no telling who's a pedophile, who's an online drug trafficker, trader. There's no telling. Because they are able to do that dirt online and then stick with this persona of being a law-abiding citizen, a taxpayer, a zombie who's down to do good, a teacher, a cop, EMS, restaurant worker. I mean, I'm just saying, it's various people, various individuals. But that's really it. You would never guess who's a criminal nowadays because anyone can become a cop, really. Let's be honest. Anyone can become a cop. I know plenty of people working in law enforcement and they are just 3 years out of high school with no diploma or nothing. They just trained, they got in. And if they wanted to be a pedophile and, partake in illegal online activities, then they could do it. If they wanted to be a quote unquote gang stalker, they could do it. Okay, they are people with free will. Now I know why a lot of targeted people assume that what's going on is like the CIA or some kind of high up government agency. But just give it thought. When you really give it thought, the government doesn't always have to be behind these strange phenomena because this technology is leaked. at the street level, there are various people using this technology to traffic other people. We know that a lot of these so-called good old boys and good old girls are indeed criminals as well. It's just society in general. It's just a cesspool, man. That's really it. Um, Society is a cesspool. That's really it, man. There's no other way I could put it. Now, let me get into the technological aspect of what's taking place. Now, with neural monitoring, I would say that all targeted individuals are on it. But depending on how you perceive it, you can look at this phenomenon, gang stalking, organized harassment. You can look at it from various different angles. I mean, you could look at it as high as left. You could look at it as community watch. You could look at it for what it is, which I know is human trafficking. You could look at it as some kind of alien takeover, AI. There are various ways you can look at it. You can look at it as just somebody with law enforcement going against you, or the CIA. There are various ways you can look at it. Now, to me, with the FBI or whatever, the FBI is really not the CIA. Okay, and so you are comparing two different agencies. People that tell you the Department of Homeland Security, they'll tell you the CIA, NSA. They'll just throw out various agencies out there, not even realizing that if ordinary, everyday people out in society are willing to do something, I'm telling you may not take my word for it, but you know, if ordinary, everyday people out in society are willing to traffic other people, and of course, in first world countries, if you are doing something and you know it's wrong, it's going to be done behind closed doors. There is no ifs, ands, and buts. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. That's why I find it so funny. I just can't stop laughing. Pedophiles don't want to get caught, so they do that behind closed doors. Drug dealers don't want to be caught either, but if they get caught or whatever. But people who are engaging in illegal activities in a first world country, they are not going to want to get caught. Okay, and then a lot of times jail time won't even matter. Prison time won't matter. Now, for a sex offender, it can be a little bit different, but for a drug dealer, it really won't matter. Okay, he'll go to jail for a little while, probably won't care, get back out. Because there are some people out there who don't care. But when we think about doctors or lawyers, they have a persona. They have status. So why would they want to get caught doing something and then it's just like, okay, so this doctor was a dirtbag all along, right? No longer a doctor anymore. He's still making a job in the future. But no longer a doctor. He's a booty bandit. But either way, if you get caught engaging in illegal activities in a first world country, you may end up serving jail time, and you will end up with a criminal record. So if you don't want to get caught in a first world country doing dirt, then what do? You do it online. You do it online. You keep it hidden. You use a dark web. Hide your IP address and all the other nonsense. Use Linux. Don't use Windows because Windows is easy to hack. And that's it. Just don't get caught. And that's why a lot of these organized harassment and gang stalking phenomena, electronic harassment is worldwide, but gang stalking, street harassment in general, is going to be more than none a first world phenomenon. People in India may complain of electronic harassment, but it's not going to be like, how you have people in Australia and, the U.S. having people out on the street, follow them around or whatnot, harassing them, because it's really, you have to stalk somebody to harass them, so it's really just harassment. Harassing them and trying to sensitize them, and then when a targeted person or the victim goes to somebody to get help, is deemed a mental illness. That's really it. That's how it works in a first world country. So before you call it higher self, just realize that you are in a first world country and the people trying to traffic you don't want to be caught. In my next video, I'm going to go into details about neural monitoring and how working for some of these high security clearance government agencies or whatever can actually end up with you being watchlisted legitimately. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you legitimately. But I'm out. I'm done with this video. It's 10 minutes long.
The Audio Spotlight is a revolutionary new audio technology that creates sound in a narrow beam, just like a flashlight. It uses ultrasound as a virtual acoustic source, enabling unprecedented control of sound distribution. In this demo, two speakers, spaced in line a mere 2 feet apart, are delivering entirely different audio signals from each of the two respective programs. You are now exactly centered between the two speakers outside both audio beams, where very little sound is audible whatsoever. Now, if we center on the left speaker, we'll hear its signal clearly. In fact, the signal is available 5 degrees to the left or right, but no further. The same is true for the right speaker.